We're going to do a quick Kabbalistic meditation here. Hang tight in the audience, Dennis. I want to get that perfectly crisp, clear recording. Regal, welcome to Total Bliss Meditation. I'm about to read a book. This is all for YouTube, everybody. 3 minutes of bliss. Hope you enjoy. This is John Kitover, mayoral candidate mayor. Go to johnkitoverchicago.com. I'm reading a book to pray and meditate for Chicago and for the next mayor. Go to chicagomayorvote.com to vote for me, John Kitover, Libertarian candidate, February 23rd, 2027. Thus then, to those who ask us, what is the most important agent of miracles? We shall reply, it is the first matter of the great work. It is magnetized electricity. Everything has been created by light. It is in light that form is preserved. It is by light that form reproduces itself. The vibrations of light are the principle of universal movement. By light, the suns are attached to each other and they interlace the rays like chains of electricity. Men and things are magnetized by light like the suns, by means of electromagnetic chains, whose tension is caused by sympathies and affinities, are able to communicate with each other from one end of the world to the other, to caress or to strike, wound or heal in a manner doubtless natural, but invisible and of the nature of prodigy. There is the secret of magic, that science, magic, the first of sciences, magic, the holiest science, because it establishes in the sublimest manner the great religious truths. Magic, the most calumniated of all, because the vulgar obstinately confound magic with the superstitious sorcery, whose abominable practices we have denounced. It is only by magic that one can reply to the enigmatical questions of the Sphinx of Thebes and find the solution of those problems of religious history which are sealed in the sometimes scandalous obscurities which are to be found in the stories of the Bible. The sacred historians themselves recognize the existence and the power of the magic which boldly rivaled that of Moses. The Bible tells us that James and Jambres, Pharaoh's magicians, at first performed the same miracles as Moses, and that they declared those which they could not imitate impossible to human science. It is in fact more flattering to the self-love of a charlatan to deem that a miracle has taken place than to declare himself conquered by the science or skill of a fellow magician. A above all when he is a political enemy or a religious adversary. I'm reading a book to pray and meditate for Chicago and for the next mayor for the Chicago Mayor.com. To also meet John Kitover, Libertarian candidate, February 23rd, 2027. next mayor, go to ChicagoMayorVote.com to vote for me, John Kitover, Libertarian candidate, February 23rd, 2027. Thus then, to those who ask us, what is the most important agent of miracles, we shall reply, it is the first matter of the great work. It is magnetized electricity. Everything has been created by light. It is in light that form is preserved. It is by light that form reproduces itself. The vibrations of light are the principle of universal movement. By light, the stars are attached to each other and they interlace the rays like chains of electricity. Men and things are magnetized by light like the suns, by means of electromagnetic chains, whose tension is caused by sympathies and affinities, are able to communicate with each other from one end of the world to the other, to caress or to strike, wound or heal in a manner doubtless natural, but invisible and of the nature of prodigy. There is the secret of magic. Magic. That science which comes to us from the Magi. Magic, the first of sciences. Magic, the holiest science, because it establishes in the sublimest manner the great religion and truths. Magic, the most calumniated of all, because the vulgar obstinately confound magic with the superstitious sorcery, whose abominable practices we have denounced. It is only by magic that one can reply to the enigmatical questions of the Sphinx of Heavens and find the solution of those problems of religious history, which are sealed in the sometimes scandalous obscurities which are to be found in the stories of the Bible. The sacred historians themselves recognize the existence of the power of the magic, which boldly rivaled that of Moses. The Bible tells us that James and Jambres, Pharaoh's magicians, had to perform the same miracles as Moses, and that they declared those who could not imitate impossible to human science. It is in fact more flattering to the self-love of a child to deem that a miracle has taken place than to declare himself conquered by the science or skill of a fellow magician. Above all, when he is a political enemy or a religious adversary. I'm reading a book to pray and meditate for Chicago and for the next mayor. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com to vote for me, John Kitover, Libertarian candidate, February 23rd, 2027. Thus then, to those who ask us, what is the most important agent of miracles, we shall reply, it is the first matter of the great work. It is magnetized electricity. Everything has been created by light. It is in light that form is preserved. It is by light that form reproduces itself. The vibrations of light are the principle of universal movement. By light, the suns are attached to each other and they interlace the rays like chains of electricity. Don't waste that much time. Go fix you. Because 9 times out of 10, my brother's got the same message. You said, if you go, it's you. Don't waste 20 years of your life trying to find the right one. Spend 20 years of your life trying to find the right you. Please, if I had not Or about me, Libertarian Chicago mayoral candidate. Meow. Hello? I'm reading a book. Hello? The open night, a riddle of shadows where whispers lie. The slowing sound, the maddening cry. Pen. I am aware. Nick, what up? Welcome to Election Day. How's your day? Oh, it's going. You're going, huh?
Picture of Macho Man Randy Savage. There used to be like my favorite game for Sega Genesis.
Which one?
My friend had WWF Royal Rumble, and like he was my favorite character in that game.
Speaking of games, I recently bought the MetaQuest 3S. I'm about to do an unboxing and set it all up.
Dude, those older Nintendo games, I cannot believe how much they're worth. Even the old Nintendo 64 games. There was like some video game store by my house that sells like all the retro gaming shit, right? They have like every system out there. And the guy like has like a display case, right? Of all these like old Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo games. Some of these are going for like $200 plus. I'm like, damn. I regret like selling them all and trading them in.
Well, some people don't realize that a video game will leave you exactly where you started it. But a book will not leave you where you started.
Correct.
And so, I just want to say, if you click the link above, you'll see my new endeavor here, John Kitover Chicago or ChicagoMayorVote.com. We've launched the campaign. We have Sora videos coming out. We are actively attacking the mayor on X. And we have launched our campaign to be the next mayor of Chicago, Illinois.
So, are you running as a libertarian?
Running as a libertarian, correct.
Hey, did you remember a guy on here? His name was Ken. Oh, God, I can't think of his name. But he ran in Chicago as a libertarian. Think of his name. I know his first name was Ken, but I just can't remember the last. But he was
I'm thinking about not actually doing petitions, but just doing a write-in candidacy. Because to do all the work, well, it's 15,000 signatures. That would be like 20,000 in expenditure, and so much of my time that it would pull me away from my recording studio. And the only way that I could do this is if I can actually crowdfund. And what's amazing is when I get supermodels to come into my recording studio in bikinis to do like a Howard Stern, John Kitover mayor type interview, and everybody in Clubhouse is like shitting themselves that I have a chick in a bikini in my house in a recording studio talking about crime and taxes and the Chicago Teachers Union and Chicago Flips Red and like basically roasting a lot of Chicago political influencers, because there's this one chick here who has a very big following, but she also has her big fat black ass being massage wand to get the lipo out of it. And it's on her fake book, and it's like in her images, like old images and videos. It's like people don't even go through people's stuff. And it's like this woman is like a power broker now, and the police are like literally the Chicago Teachers Union is calling the police on her every day for like stalking and harassing. And it's like, you know what? She's pretty fucking crazy, and she's getting funded by people online to like harass people. But that's not my criticism. It's the fact that, she posts that big fat black ass, which is very beautiful booty. I will give it to her. Like, it's a beautiful black ass, but it is a big fat black ass.
Yeah, the guy has a display.
The John Kitover Chicago Mayor podcast, Nick, you just made it. Congrats.
Well, some people don't realize that a video game will leave you exactly where you started it. But a book will not leave you where you started. Correct. And so, I just want to say, if you click the link above, you'll see my new endeavor here, John Kitover Chicago or ChicagoMayorVote.com.
Are you so are you gonna like campaign in Chicago telling these people that 80 cents of their pensions are being borrowed? For every dollar they pay out on the pension, like 80 cents of it is being borrowed. Or are the people that fucking stupid there?
No, the city of Chicago is a $150 billion pension liability. And the annual budget is $16 billion. But Cook County alone takes in $20 billion. Just Cook County. So the money revenue is there to keep servicing all the debt, and even to create more debt. It's just how far will the banks go, and when do they re-rate the mortgages, or the bonds as junk?
I remember years ago when I was starting out of college working for a CPA firm, and we're doing like audits of these pension plans. And like we knew this pension plan was like totally fucked. So they're like, no, don't worry. We're going to just turn it over to the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corp, and our employees will be okay. I'm like, and I was telling like the controller and CFO, I'm like, you do understand that they're not paid out 100%. He's like, yeah, they'll just take a slight hit. I'm like, no, their pension is going to get cut in half. And like, so that's like the only hope for Chicago is they turn it over to the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corp. But I don't know if they can turn over that big of a pension. I really don't know like the laws of the dollar amounts or whatever, but yeah, like Illinois is so fucked financially.
There's like a secessionist movement here in all parts of Illinois to join states like Iowa and Indiana and get out of the Illinois, county federation, because what does somebody in Southern Illinois have to do with somebody in Chicago, trapped in the debt, ticking time bomb? Nothing. They're not connected. But because of the fact that it's all tied into this Illinois General Reserve Fund that Pritzker is gutting, and so literally towns that were expecting like 20 to 30 million for like the past couple of years, they don't get it anymore. So like lots of towns are just like, oh my God, like we're not getting anything from the state anymore. What are we gonna do? If they weren't prepared, your town's not going anywhere. You're fucked on infrastructure, repairs, budgets. Like there goes your property taxes. So everybody's property taxes is really the big liability. And it's not even really represented in the data, but people know it's there. They just don't talk about it. Basically, people can't sell their homes. They're trapped. because they don't want to downgrade to like a 1-bedroom apartment.
Like in downtown Chicago, what is like, let's say like the average condo, like let's say you want a 2-bed, 1.5-bath condo or something there. What are you paying?
It's just so many factors. Is it an old piece of shit, disgusting building in a shit part of town? Is it a new building downtown? You know, it's just in your budget. Like there's something for everybody's budget. Even 800 a month, 400 a month. I had a studio for 400 a month in Chicago, 420 a month. From that home.
What's that one place downtown? A lot of people from Michigan, they go on vacation there or like spend a long weekend. But there's one specific hotel that doesn't charge you to park. And I can't think of the name of it.
The hotel.
It's like I don't know, it's really popular. Everyone would go there and just they would always stay at this one hotel because it was like it had like no amenities, but the only thing it had going was free parking.
I think I know which one you're talking about. You know, I love that website, Hotel Tonight. I always look like I'm like addicted to looking at the prices of hotels in Chicago.
Right. Yeah, I
during the pandemic, scamdemic, I stayed at this amazing hotel for $49 a night.
Yeah, my friend and I went to the Grand Canyon. Our flight was only like $220, and the hotel we stayed like right outside of the Grand Canyon was like $89 a night. It was like a Hilton or whatever. It wasn't super fancy, but people were like, "Aren't you afraid to travel?" I'm like, dude, we're going to the fucking Grand Canyon. We're outside. We're not in a crowded area. Like, what's there to be scared of? And I already fucking had COVID twice. And I don't know, man. I've had hangovers worse than that.
Yeah, it was basically like a hangover.
Yeah, it was like a 2-day hangover. I really couldn't eat much, couldn't move much, and just... I didn't even know I had it. I just took Benadryl because I was like, oh, it's my allergies. And my boss, or my stupid doctor's like, so you're going to get your vaccine? I'm like, why? He's like, Dr. Fauci said it was safe. I'm like, yeah, then I know not to take it. And he's like, are you one of those conspiracy theorists? I'm like, but you took my blood work and you saw that I have the antibody. Why would I take a vaccine now?
It's pretty amazing that, you know, Fauci even said that natural immunity is the greatest defense.
Herd immunity. Well, that's what Sweden did.
Yeah, so what's amazing is, like, I didn't get it, but I got infected by a girl from here on Clubhouse after stooping her. And she's a doctor, and she nearly killed me, but she also made me stronger, technically. But the thing is, like, you know, that's like a viral shed on me. And it came from like a big festival, but anyways, I survived it. But imagine if I had also decided to double zap, triple boost, plus get the initial infection. Like, see, that's how absolutely stupid people are, that they think that it was like a vitamin shot, as if the addition helped with the cocktail or the soup. No, it polluted the soup. And it's basically like chemotherapy. So if you got it, you know, there's a lot of buyer's remorse, and people really do regret getting it. And they do know that adding to your system unnecessary medical intervention actually just damages the system, doesn't improve it. And so when you talk to people who seem to think that it improved their system, you are talking with brainwashed people. And, you know, I have compassion and toleration for all communication, but there's a certain point where if they can't admit that they are a cup, and what you put in the cup is what you are, well, we're all going to meet our maker, but some of us prefer to leave certain ingredients out of our soup. It's just my opinion.
I remember when you would troll Thugga Biden on here. You're Thugga Biden, double vax and triple boosted. Every room you would troll him. Oh man, because like he told me, like, his kid was like 2 years old and he had the kid get vaccinated. He'd make fun of him and troll him in every fucking room. You're double Biden, you're triple and double vax. Did you get your sucker?
I record him a lot. I record that politically correct room just about every day. He's in there every day, all day, nonstop.
Isn't that the same thing as like Misa's 420 lounge or something, or Lisa or whatever?
Yeah, he crashes out in there. He goes, "This isn't Lisa's 420 room. That's later." Fuck, like he screams at people. His psychotic, crazy, like singing, so in the closet, so out of the closet. It's like his show, really. Like, without him, that room has no significant talent. But
right.
Either way, I don't want to listen to him. I'd rather read a book. It's just me.
Then they have the environmentalist Aaron Berger.
They got a whole cast of characters. They got Aaron, they have Spirit, who is like a super F word, super loser. That's what I'm saying.
I've never met Spirit.
You don't know that F word? Oh, he's a gay Jewish.
I know who you're talking about. Oh, he is so low IQ. Oh, he is dumb.
Really annoying.
Arm is just stupid. And I think he works for George Soros.
They're all stupid. Everybody on this ass is just like incredibly stupid.
Yeah, I mean that's like chillism low IQ levels.
I mean, basically, it is people trying to improve their English, even though they don't know that probably. But their influences are so bad that it's remarkable that they keep coming back and just don't switch to a different app to maybe listen to an audiobook.
I was having to drive to the west side of the state for work. It's like about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. You know what I listen to? Thomas Sowell. Listening to Thomas Sowell. You try to tell someone, like, yeah, I just go listen to Thomas Sowell on my way there. And one of my coworkers like, who's that? Never heard of that guy. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Can you hear that? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
This is from Japan. It's a handcrafted Japanese Zen wooden drum. It's called an uku fuku kuku.
Interesting.
I can't remember the real name of it, but it's got a name.
When I worked for a Japanese company, my coworker would always come back from Japan with like candy from their Kit Kats. And like Japan has like the best flavors, like strawberry flavored, but like their candy is like half the sugar that we have here, and it's like all natural. So it's like it tastes so much better. And like my coworker was telling me, she's like, yeah, in Japan they like measure your waist like every year, because if it's too big, like they cut you off certain food and they start charging you more for health insurance.
I've been reading a book and creating YouTube videos for the campaign to elect John Kitover to the office of the mayor here in Chicago as a libertarian. And we're live on YouTube now with many viewers. The algorithm really does help actually with time. When you use it, actually matters most on when you get the views. And at the 8 o'clock hour Central Standard Time, this is a prime viewing time for people who are looking at their cell phones throughout the world, really. maybe the United States especially, but it's called day parting and marketing advertising, and it's so important that your campaign strategy is always optimizing spend based on day parting. Like right now, when you get maximum viewers or the biggest bang for your buck. Most purchasing decisions are actually happening right now when people have free time to go to Amazon and load up for their delivery tomorrow or starting at 4 a.m. Have you ever tried to modify when you buy things? And are you a Prime member? Nick, hello?
Prime for a bit, but I just quit after a year because I don't really modify on there, and I just use my friend's account anyway, so I'm like, no need to.
Are you sure you're not Jewish?
I know, right?
I think there could be a reason why you can't seem to attract a butterfly to your flower. Is it because you don't open up the checking account wide enough for the ladies? You want to go on a date Friday, Saturday night? I'd love to buy you dinner. Sure, where are you taking me? I'm taking you to Johnny's Euros. You ever been there? Johnny's Euros? For a first date? I'm not going to Johnny's Euros. Baby, I'm the mayor of Chicago. It's my restaurant. You're the mayor of Chicago? Really? Let me see. John Kitover, Chicago mayor. Wow. Sure. I'll go with you to Johnny's Euros. Here's my number. 312-666-6666. Thank you. See you soon. Bye, Johnny.
Back on the app, are you going to go troll him?
No, I'm like really trying to detox from listening to Clubhouse. I'm like actually just trying to like be productive and not get hypnotized with other people's speech or content. You know, I'm trying to be master of my domain. I heard Mikhail in a room once. He's like, I'm God here. He's like, maybe I'm being too charitable. I am God in this Clubhouse room. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, this fucking loser. You know, just totally wasting his time.
I keep reading all these books about like Goldman Sachs and working there. And like I told you, I just read that work, that one recently called like Bully Market. Man, that is like such a horrible place to work. There's no way I used to want to work there, like, because one of my professors in college was like, well, if you get into Goldman, like, this is like the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And then you like read all these books about like working there, and you're like, no thanks.
Well, it's really just that starting compensation package, which is so remarkable that, you know, now you're making 4x what most other people make. So, you know, it alleviates and solves a lot of problems in your life, and it's hard to walk away from, you know, $400,000 plus a year. It's nice money.
Right. Because that's the thing. It's like, that's what that lady said. She was making like $1 million a year.
Yeah.
And
the Christmas bonus must be the most amazing. Like, wow. Like, to just get that wire transfer year after year for the Christmas bonus, you're just like, wow. I must feel amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, exactly. When you see like $150,000, $200,000 at your bank account. Yeah, it's insane. And she wrote in this book, like, all the men would make fun of her because like she had kids. She just had a baby and she was pumping breast milk, and Goldman didn't allow that. And then when she had her like third kid or something like that, she said, fuck it, I'm doing it anyways. And people would walk by her and say moo, and they would put cows on her desk. Like, stuffed animal cows, and she was just like horribly treated. Then she promised her husband like one more bonus, and I'm quitting. And then she waited till like it cleared her bank account, and literally the next day she put in her notice, and they're like, "You can just leave." When she wrote this book, she said like she did an interview on YouTube, and like Goldman denied everything, and they're like, no, we checked with human resources. It's not true. None of this, what she said, was true. Yeah, because Goldman has like the best lawyers money can buy.
Well, life and money and destiny and options and access and what your life is like, it's an experience that you can tailor, and it's fantastic if you make great money, because then you can hopefully, tailor even better. But ultimately, life is like a riddle. And some people who even succeed to a very high level, they end up having very tragic downfalls or passings. Like the founder of the grocery chain Aldi, he jumped out of a window during the 2008 financial crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the thing. It's like, to me, it's very difficult to achieve a state of a very high level courage, bravery, and overcome fear. And, to go on these bombing runs in Iran, Tehran, a lot of just faith in the machinery, because there's no guarantee that you're coming back. Those rockets move fast. And, but, do you view Donald Trump as being like a mafia terror don? Is he like the Godfather? Because not many U.S. presidents take out major country heads by blowing them up, in an alliance with Israel on top of it, which is a pretty bold alliance. I think calling out the British, calling out the French, saying when the war is over, it'll be too late, Like he's shaming them, saying, "Oh yeah, you guys are our biggest allies historically, huh? Where are you? We don't need you. Don't worry about it. We got this." Because it's.
The thing about Trump is he's actually a troll. He'll troll anyone.
Is he the troll philosopher king? Like, is that because that's why I think he won the elections, is because he trolled the establishment. And trolling is basically, how would you describe Donald Trump trolling versus regular person trolling?
He's just direct about it. A regular person doesn't try to troll, but Trump's just more direct about being a troll. John, you got to go on the replay on Monica by the Fire. She did a room about trolling.
About what?
You can listen about the art of being a troll. So you can hear Monica's take on it if you need an expert opinion.
It really would be very cool to organize a Clubhouse in-person award ceremony and do a roast top trolls, and actually make a convention and try to get people to come out from Clubhouse and mix reality with
That
Clubhouse.
would be hilarious. And then you could have Jonathan Bing, Grant Cardone, and Sydney Stumble be moderators.
To me, it would be very fringe, or like if BB showed up, that would be something special.
Yeah.
Blessed one.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. A live Clubhouse Award show. And
an award show, or really just like actually an event, like a conference room to film it, to like interview the people who come here and like make it into real content, take them from a PTR reality into like the YouTube video world, which is really the real value, the real monetization opportunity, because advertisers work with YouTube and videos are where it's at. So it is something I'd like to plan this summer as a part of my Chicago mayoral campaign to invite and organize a Clubhouse event in Chicago.
That would be hilarious. Just listening to all these people seeing it. I mean, like they basically, like, isn't that with Chatter? You're on screen, you're on video. Because like I go on Jonathan Bing's Instagram and there's tons of him on video there. Just doing running rooms, debate the news on Chatter. Do you know that little kid on here? What's his name? He's like 24, 25, and he's a communist. I can't think of his name.
You know what's interesting about is, I make so many recordings and so many clips and edits, etc., that technically everybody's life is technically completely filmed. And clips really make a big difference because you don't know what's outside of that clip. So if you were to watch this live stream versus watching one of the 50-second clips generated from it, it's a totally different experience. It's like a summation, compression, or just a compartmentalization. And so, running ads and running for Congress, running for mayor, a lot of this stuff is clips because many people will never re-engage with John Kitover, the brand, the politician, outside of like one interaction. But, part of getting elected is having multiple interactions over an extended period of time to win at the ballot box, because the whole thing is one hypnosis to the voter who goes into that ballot box March 17th. And if you want to go to johnkitoverchicago.com to learn about our campaign as a libertarian Chicago mayor, just go to chicagomayorvote.com. That's chicagomayorvote.com. Use your fingers, go to your browser, type in chicagomayorvote.com. Let's get a new mayor. Bye, Brandon Johnson. Bye-bye. Go to johnkitoverchicago.com right now, or chicagomayorvote.com. And to get rid of Brandon Johnson, the CTU history professor, communist, socialist, racist, extremist, choking the city to death day by day. You see, Nick, then we hit clip, and that's another 10, 49-second videos. But I'm trying to focus on the keyword optimization. Like, it'd be great if I could go in and quickly edit Brandon Johnson, Chicago mayor, and assign it to that clip. Like, that's the kind of little fingers that I need to help me just keyword optimize the shit out of what I do. Because advertisements are expensive, but search engine optimization is real. Like, keywords match people's searches, and we need to counter-match searches. It's the one way to win in life, whether you're running in politics or you're running a slipper and a shoe business online, or a barbecue restaurant. Like, it's all keywords, always. Like, $6 a click, $10 a click, $20 a click, $200 a click for a high-value keyword. Oh my God, Rabbo Shalom, really that much? Wow, mesothelioma, $420 a click. Wow. I have mesothelioma, tuberculosis, and I got sickle cell anemia. And when I ejaculate, I got the ED. Was the troubadour from your birth to your death? Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Welcome to the John Kitover Experience. It's really not just a political libertarian movement, it's actually a media experience. And we hope to delight, we hope to entertain, we hope to illuminate. So hit that like button, subscribe right now. You're live on my YouTube channel. Subscribe and like right now, and then go to johnkitoverchicago.com or chicagomayorvote.com. We need to change the election and get Mayor Brandon Johnson out of Chicago. Toast, Mayor Brandon Johnson. Don't even think about running again. And Quigley? Well, little Quigley, he's an LGBTQ Halstead boy dancing with the pretty boys. Only John Kitover is the normative heterosexual Christian white male you've been looking for. Yes, I'm completely bald. Shave that head in the bathtub every couple of days. Some people are like, John, how do you get such a clean shave? I say, I shave it in the bathtub. If you want the beard, Nick, how's your hairline these days? Are you still losing hair?
No, full head.
Wow, lucky man. The stress of life completely obliterated my scalp. Like feathers on a goose, just plucked them all out. Stress. Just ripped my hair out of my fucking head. Sorry, Mayor John. I had to take all your hair. Minoxidil, finasteride. It didn't matter how hard I tried to chemically castrate myself. My hair still fell out. Oh, look, we got Shiva here. Krishna, Shiva, Rabbana Shalom. Oh, Gam Ganapati Namaha. Just a quick little entrance by Shiva there. Thank you, Shiva, just for appearing. No need to speak. Beautiful. All right, we're arriving at 8:45 p.m. CST. You know what that means? That means we are going to advance this show. It's not going to go for more than 7 minutes. We're going to quickly read a book here. Now, Nick, I know many people just come here to talk. But some of us have large book collections, and you know what? Some people are like, you know what? I'm just going to read a book on Clubhouse and live stream and then clip it. And then see, that's what I'm talking about, the value of a clip. And so this is why I read books, because the value of me reading a book into YouTube has value creation. And I think ultimately it'll be rewarded, it'll be monetized. But my challenge really is the keyword optimization, because I'm about to read you a book called The Secret Key of the Mysteries by Eliphas Levi and Aleister Crowley. And, those are the value keywords. But instead it's just going to say John Kitover for Chicago Mayor. And I'm okay with that, because technically it's all just hypnosis. Really, when I read a book and create a 60-second clip, Nick, it's actually just an ASMR hypnosis clip. And I hope, because people listen to it, they go, what? What was that? But see, they're also confused by the video. Because right now I'm wearing a very weird 60s hippies tie-dye shirt with a hat. And so it kind of throws the eyes. People are like, who is this guy? What's he talking about? It's confusing. And because I can confuse people, I can hypnotize people. And because I can hypnotize people, I can monetize them and get Ziploc to pay me to show them to buy a Ziploc bag. How many Ziploc bags does a guy need? You know what I'm saying? How many waste management branding commercials do I need to see? Oh, thanks, Waste Management, for getting the City of Chicago garbage contract for $1.3 billion. Technically, life just comes down to the law firm sending you debt collection notices, it turns out. That's the holy scripture of our society today. But go to johnkitoverchicago.com or Chicago Mayor Vote. This is your daily Kabbalah study with Candidate John. When does the possible and magical miracles begin and end? Here is a serious and important question. What is certain is the existence of the facts which one habitually describes as miracles. Magnetizers like KP and sleepwakers like Nick do them every day. Sister Rose Mella Tamister did them. The illuminated Vintros does them still. More than 15,000 witnesses recently attested those of the American mediums. 10,000 peasants of Berry Ceylon would attest. If need were, those of the god Cheneau, a retired button merchant who believes himself inspired by God. Are all these people hallucinated or knaves? Hallucinated, yes, perhaps, but the very fact that the hallucination is identical, whether separately or collectively, is it not a sufficiently great miracle on the part of him who produces it, always at will, and at a stated time and place? To do miracles and to persuade the multitude that one does them are very nearly the same thing. Above all, in a century as frivolous and scoffing as ours. Now, the clubhouse world is full of wonder makers, and science is often reduced to denying their works or refusing to see them in order not to be reduced to examining them or assigning a cause to them. Wait, Nick, this is my AR music. Tell me what you think.
You can get on stage and actually get into a debate with the mayor if you actually get close enough to be write-in candidate.
What?
Can you actually debate this idiot mayor you have running Chicago?
Bro, my buddy Max went to an event a week ago and he's like, come to this event. And sure enough, my buddy Matt Mayor, Brandon Johnson, talked with him, took a selfie with him. I should have gone. Very few people showed up. 20 people showed up to greet him. That was it. There's a publicly advertised event.
Dude, someone, like I said, there's a YouTube clip of a lady calling him the N-word. And I'm like, man, this guy is really fucking bad. And I didn't think you could get worse than Lori Lighthead.
Oh, somebody is oh, my producer talent agent. Thank God I was thinking about you today. Dr. Jordan. You know why, Dr. Jordan? Because of strength, yeah. I was thinking about also Dr. Jordan Gruber on here, Dr. Jordan, who does a lot of weightlifting, and truly there's great wisdom in lifting weights. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan the Barbarian, says, his father says, Conan, you must learn the riddle of steel. You can't trust a woman. You can't trust your horse. But you can trust this fucking sword, Conan. You can trust this sword, and when you draw the flaming sword and strike the master chord, Conan, you will have solved the riddle of steel, Conan, and Crumb will be very angry. Crumb lives inside of the earth, Stumperdink. Dr. Jordan just came for a quick hello, eh? He doesn't think it's funny, huh? Can't please them all, Nick.
Yeah. That room you had yesterday was good when you brought in David, and you try to figure out how much vodka David drank. That was hilarious.
I've roasted some people. I swear to God, doesn't David seem almost like he has Down syndrome? Like technically based on his communication capabilities here?
I mean, he's been on the app sober sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. But on the whole, he doesn't say anything intelligent. He can barely have an intelligent conversation other than, hey, you want to go to the hockey game? I got season tickets.
Respectfully, John. Respectfully. I don't think him or no, the Swedish girl, Becker. She's the one who's always drunk on here too. I don't think she's ever been sober. But she actually broke down in a room once as I was asking her how many shots of vodka she had this morning. And did you drink the whole bottle? And I guess she lost a child. Like, she was married and had a kid, and the kid died. I don't know if it was like suddenly or what. And like, because of that, she became like really depressed. And she's 40 years old, not married, and she was dating this guy for like 8 years, and he wouldn't marry her because she was a model, and there was differences in assets, and she was giving like her whole life story. I'm like, and I felt kind of bad because I would troll her in every room, and call her an alcoholic. Then I realized, like, yeah, she's faced a lot of trauma in her life.
Nick, you're a cool dude. You're smart. You got everything going for you. Just always remember that, you want to do the mind control. You want to do the time control. You don't want to be manipulated. You don't want to be controlled or subversively. Like, you want authentic, genuine. That's what everybody wants and everybody says. But I would just say that, if you don't come on this book and you don't read books, try to do what I'm doing, and you will see, like, basically how you control your mind. Because genius, is difficult to achieve, but ultimately it deals with concentration and focus of the mind. And this app can trick you anything you hear on this app tricks you instantaneously. Let's just put it that way. If you remember that, you'll know that every room is the same as every other. And that's when you go, aha, I found the secret. I figured it out. And it is so remarkable that technically everything that everybody says is something new. But is it intelligent? No, it's not. That's just the truth. My opinion, but it's a fact. And so, I have a tattoo on my arm that says, I'm the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. So I'm very tentative. People always ask me, can I get a situation update? I say, sir, it's very tentative.
Well, Socrates said that quote, he who knows nothing.
I have another tattoo on my arm that says, those who say do not know, those who know do not say. So the whole thing is do not say and just be silent. And this is where this Japanese instrument comes from in the Zen temple. The Zen temple is actually the STFU temple. Meaning that the more we think, the more we speak, the further from the truth we get. Our silence is the high value moment. Without the silence, there's no differentiation even between the words. And you can never figure out the truth of the earth because you're always talking. The truth is right before your eyes. It's pouring into your ears, and it's you, Y-O-U. Y-O-U, capital Y-O-U, little Y-O-U, big G-O-D, little G-O-D. Y-O-U. You know, it's just 3-letter word conspiracy, Nick. Cat, dog, you, bat, man. It's all just 3 letters. So the real fun in life, Nick, is when you realize that you're constantly like on the run or getting pushed around. But there is a way to try to control the chaos of basically the content, because we live in an age where our cell phone and our TV and all these other devices technically are constantly binging and trying to cling. And that's why I say the cell phone is the new prison. But the genie in the bottle is you. And the bottle wants you to go back in it, but technically you want to be free as the genie. So to totally disconnect, you know, yourself, and the whole thing is you can make wishes and they can come true, Nick. That's the secret, is to know that miracles happen. And books are one way to create spells or cast miracles. I'm almost 100% sure of it, because when I exchange my stupid opinions and my foolish facts, and I replace them with the book and books, it's almost like typing into the universe just because I can live stream it on YouTube and clip it. I know that sounds stupid, but it's all about the way that I'm programming myself and programming other people who might watch my videos. I know that sounds stupid, but it's almost like conditioning hypnosis 101, where, you know, it's a little bit like Andy Warhol's Star of Fame, Dance and Sing. Like, I released a dance video today of me dancing to the Donald Trump video, and I seductively take off my jacket and grind my hips. And so that type of ridiculous video is what we would call, in film production theory, supernormal stimulus or super stimulus, meaning that it's so stupid and cringe that it becomes extraordinarily super. Now, some people will just laugh at me. Some people will call me schmuck or crazy or stupid or funny or weird or cringe. It doesn't matter. I actually just want the comment. I want to generate the response. That's actually all I'm trying to do. I'm agnostic as to what I show. I just want to create a legal, a high-value supernormal response to a supernormal video. And that is my theory on creating art, you know, for commercial consumption. And it's proprietary. It's copyright. And if you retransmit this conversation in any way, shape, or form, Nick, I will sue you into oblivion because you don't have my express written permission. And, you know, I hear that all the time from people on this app, but do I really care? No, I don't. Because I know that all communication is just hypnosis. And until a letter shows up by a law firm, it's all just online hypnosis. Clickbait or click talk or bait talk, basically. We should create a new app to compete with Cheddar, just call it Bait Talk. You want to get baited with a scam and word? This is our filtration. This is our pre-qualification app for losers and suckers that we're gonna try to scam. You got a grandma worth $13 million? Well, do you know about our new investment fund? Yeah, man, $250,000 for a qualified investor like you, bro. We got you, man. You can 5x this money with us, bro. You know about Chatham? You ain't use no Chatham? Come on down, there's investment Chatham. Goldman Sachs is one of our investors. Yeah, we're with State Street, we're with Vanguard, we're with BlackRock, we're with Ty Lopez. Chatham. We with Grant Cardone, dog. I signed up with them, and some guy named Yakov, some Orthodox Jew, must have called me a dozen times trying to get me to invest in their hedge fund. I'm not making that up, Nick. Like, that's true. He's still in my contacts, actually. He shows up on Snapchat. I don't think he works with them anymore. Just a possibility. Maybe he was doing like a secretary job or something. Who knows? But man, that's a crew, bro. You know, somebody said that this app is actually all for gangbangers.
like Resistance, that guy he's like an ex-convict.
It's more than that. It's like Bro, if I just gave you a sample right now, it's like listening to a fallen world of demons in hell. You know,
Europa was a former child molester.
It's worse than that. I heard two girls talking about how they killed somebody. One of the girls was like, "Bitch, why were you eating the body? You fucking cannibal bitch." And I was like, "Is this real?" Could be. Bro, I mean, people murder people every single day on the trains, drive-bys. Like, we live in a society of people that are actively trying to kill other people because of online social media dopamine insults.
You know,
that's what the police do. The police investigate all these phones and they look at all the comments and the private text messages and they say, yeah, based on these text messages, we think, you know, Shaniqua here killed Tamika with the knife. So sorry, Mrs. Johnson. And she's like, my baby! It's all here in the Instagram messages already. Thank you, officer. No lawsuit, you know. But the city of Chicago has paid out $160 million in, you know, police corruption and abuse settlements. But it's really the law firms that walk away with like tens of millions.
Oh yeah, they're gonna love that. But you know, what do you think about this whole Trump thing? About they're saying these tariffs are not constitutional, and there's over 2,000 companies suing the federal government for a refund on these tariffs, but I don't think they're going to get refund. Seeing a source of income, and look at what our budget deficits are going to be. They're like, what, like $2 trillion a year now? This debt cap is not sustainable.
Well, the whole thing is, you know, to try to recoup and recollect costs money, and there'll probably be settlements, but basically, like it's really up to Trump. And when Besson says, you know, we're going to have to refund $250 billion, it's all taken out of context. It's all clipped. You didn't actually watch the whole context, so it's actually who is holding it, and that's why, you know, possession of 9/10 is, you know, like that's really who's got the play, who's got the position. And then the enforcement component is basically like the next check. But the whole thing is, I don't know if we have a Bahrain instituted force majeure against Iran, meaning that they've seized Iranian assets and investment, et cetera. Like the partnership is null and void because of the attack. So we can do force majeure too, and we can also ensure, you know, all these transportation routes because we can. Nobody can say no. Dude, Trump, you know, people don't realize how much Trump is basically like Caesar Alexander, you know, in terms of like the military structure. I mean, his address name is Commander. You know, that's what people say to him. Yes, Commander. You know, you can say yes, Commander, or yes, Mr. President, but it's the same word because he really he's really the five-star. He tells the 5 stars what we're doing. This is the strategy. Send me reports. You know, I'm going to the Mar-a-Lago to go to a wedding Friday night. Send me a report by 10 p.m. Tell me how many strikes we made. Tell me what the ambassador is saying. Tell me what is this guy saying? What is that headset that's like Marco's, you know, whispering to him, Mr. President? Commander, we need more men, Commander. How many more men do you need? All right, take him from Tennessee, take him from South Carolina, take him from Florida, bring up the boys from California and Texas to bring them all in, give them all operations orders and send them all to our bases throughout the Middle East and prepare for a massive strike. Yes, Commander. Melania, pass me the ketchup. Double cheeseburger.
The Diet Coke. What does he drink? Like 6 of them a day?
I got a number 6. 2 cheeseburgers. Supersize it for Donnie. Look at Stinny down there. She's got an FCK war. Stinny, I hate to break the news to you, but war is a word and FCK is not a word. So one of those is real and one of those is European projection. And really, it's all just propaganda because the truth is, as someone who went through a military training system, I know that every year we produce thousands of military officers. And because we have produced thousands of military officers, that means we have 20 to 30 years of reserve military officers that can engage in combat on a global scale and operate the world's most sophisticated weapon systems. And if there is a draft or there is an activation of all former U.S. military officers, I, as a mayoral candidate for Chicago, will absolutely volunteer my services. And if you live in Chicago and want to join the first of the 118th Chicago Infantry Brigade that I'm setting up here to do police watches and citizen watches, we can accommodate you if you want to deploy. If you're looking for a possible federal pension, you want to go fight to the death in our active 8 battle sites throughout the United States, I, as your mayor and possible congressional representative, can assure you a job with the United States Army. I will personally commission you in the John Kitover 63rd Regiment, or the 1st of the 110th Chicago Brigade, Light Brigade, obviously. We have an anon in the room. Anon is the closest thing to somebody who's anal. Retentive, maybe. Can't go into that room and let people know that I'm there, but I'm listening. Is it a me problem? Or is it a John Kitover problem? Maybe we're both mutually assured communication. Meaning, Mr. Anon, that without you, I wouldn't be talking about you. But because I don't know who you are, I'm just roasting you. So you know that it's a you problem. And you can't respond. You can't put anything in the chat, and you're probably like, oh, I wish I could shitpost him or go up there and say something to him, but fuck it. I'm in anon mode right now, just listening, bro. All right. Well, also, Nick, everything here is being broadcast on Spotify podcast. The John Kitover Band is also publishing this to DistroKid and Apple Music and iHeartRadio and all these other little bullshit platforms that nobody uses, but apparently people use. I just use Clownhouse and I create the content. Everything in here is copyrighted trademark John Kitover, including this wooden Japanese drum from Tokyo. Incoming news, breaking news from Max Rice News. Senator Elizabeth Warren will be in Illinois 09 on Friday for a campus with Daniel Bliss. Oh no. Oh no. Men are dressing up as women, trolling us all. I just troll them right back. They spam me, I spam them back. People always want to try to get me involved in something that they should do. I don't do other people's work, Nick. It's one of my favorite rules. To, oh, come here, do that. But then I always regret it. I say, you know what? I should have gone. But you know what? Shooting YouTube videos, creating these videos is like so important. I don't think people know that. Not many people can do what I do. People that I know who like what I do will never do what I do because for some reason they think that they're like, you know, trying to control the narrative or something, but they're not really doing any conditioning work on themselves or others. So they're just spamming me, but not actually doing the bigger conditioning projects that they would need to have a bigger success. But that's what people want to do. Fine, then you can be a part of my network. But a lot of this is I'm a pusher, not a puller. You know, I use gravity to do the work, Nick. I don't know if you know that about me, but people say, John, what do you do for a living as you're trying to run for mayor? I say, oh, a gravity worker. They go, what? I say, I work for Gravity. They say, you work with Gravity? What kind of business is that? Is that a company? I go, no. I work with gravity, meaning I don't, oppose the flow, the force. It's like being a Jedi. I'm a force flow, conduit. I just let the force flow through me. I don't resist it. I don't oppose it. Nick, for example, do you know what happens when sound is cast against, a pool of water? Oh, look, Jeff is here. Hey, Jeff. You know how water responds to sound when it's emitted against water? Do you know what it does?
No, I don't.
Well, the interesting thing about water, you know how Bruce Lee said, be like water?
Yeah. Yep.
So if you were to take like a megaphone and a very loud speaker and play, the Rolling Stones against a pool of water, but emit that sound flowing towards that water. Well, guess what the water did? The water just moves with the sound, with the energy. It doesn't actually talk back. It just amicably corresponds or, acquiesces, or the water just accommodates. Water is accommodating. And so technically, most people on this app are not accommodating in the slightest. They are the opposite of water. And so when I come on here and I, amplify myself and scream or correspond and give them, a hello, well, sometimes people don't respond like water. They're very unaccommodating. And they say, kick that N-word, kick that N-word. Not accommodating in the slightest. So I guess what I'm saying is most hosts in the real world are just not accommodating. In a job, you're dealing with hosts, you're dealing with green beans, aka management, and they're not accommodating. So basically they're not like water, because I'm the kind of guy who believes that closed mouths don't get fed, and that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm going to use my mouth. That's why you hired me. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I did not hire you to use your mouth. I don't want to hear your mouth. Unfortunately, I come across too many employers with that attitude. Sorry, John, your intelligence is not wanted here because we want to control the situation. We don't care how intelligent you are, or how much of a better idea you have, or opinion you have, or what you think would be the more appropriate thing to do here, or where things are at. We just want to control the situation, so no need to talk anymore, John. Just shut your mouth, and then I will control the situation. Hello? And so recently I found out that a former federal employer, and my former employer at a federal agency, took a leave of absence and was transferred to Atlanta. She is no longer in management, Nick. And so I have a $200,000 lawsuit against Scott Bessent in the United States Treasury. I'm not making this up, by the way. A 700-page complaint. That's how much fucking work, man. Some contractor, some lawyer drafted a 700-page complaint.
My thing was, aren't the Fed and the Treasury supposed to be independent? And Biden appointed Janet Yellen to run our Treasury Department. Yeah, that's Marxism 101.
The Treasury is really a tool.
Treasury Department, Goldman Sachs. It's just Goldman Sachs that runs it.
The Treasury?
I mean, look at when Obama was there, and it was the Bush years, the Obama years. It was Hank Paulson was the head of the Treasury. Then it was Tim Geithner. They're all former Goldman Sachs people.
Nick, that's not what's important. You have to look at it as an annual budget. The Treasury's annual budget of 80 billion. So when I was going through the contracts and using SAP, which is owned by Oracle, the entire contracting system runs through Oracle, and I pulled the biggest contracts, and there was no information associated, just blanket contract, not following actual contractual procurement laws, but just like Boston Consulting Group, $3 billion. But no explanation, no description, but still enter for like the number. They still want to generate the number, but they don't actually follow law with regards to the contract because it's not open source. It's not open bidding, and it's just put in there. So, whoever the head of Treasury appoints all these capos that head up all these different business units within Treasury. I was within the IRS, and within the IRS, there's 15 other business units, or 10 other business units, including CI, which is the criminal investigators. And my manager, who called me a whore, you man whore. Jay, you a fucking man whore, John. I was like, what did you say? He's like, you a fucking man whore. I was like, I'm writing you up, bitch. I'm suing you. I'm going to sue the IRS. Don't you dare talk to me like that, you fat fucking pig. Eat your fucking sandwich, bitch. That's what I said. Then I sued that fat fucking pig who called me a whore, because that's sexual harassment, isn't it, Nick? It is. Had to report it, had to sue. Wouldn't stand by as a mayoral candidate and let some big fat black bitch call me a fucking man whore at work. Not me. No, sir. Not while she was stuffing a potbellies down her throat. But anyway, she took a leave of absence because the senior manager couldn't deal with her anymore. She was too incompetent. I'm not kidding, Nick. This is not made up. This chick is so incompetent and obnoxious. It's unbelievable.
I believe it.
But it was like driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, look at that seat in town. Look at that seat in town. That seat in town. We got to change that seat in town. John, take another seat in town. That seat in town over there needs to replace. Why did that seat in town replace, John? Write it up, John. Put it in the system, John.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, John.
Hello? So, Nick. Hello? He said it out. All right, we're going to play some music here. Okay. I invited El Normo into the room. We'll see if he's available. El Normo, the great clubhouse superstar. See who else we can get to come to the clubhouse room for the John Kitover launch party. Guess I can't play music, huh?
is the right of those who support these rights. Slaves shall serve.
Shattered glass,